Today I'm going to make lobster ravioli. I'm going to show you how to do, just to finish up the filling and how to stuff them into the ravioli. And then we'll cook them and put the sauce on so you'll see a presentation as well. And today what I'm doing is lobster ravioli. I also mixed in some crayfish, and you could easily put in some shrimp. These lobsters I cooked myself and I chopped up the meat. I know a lot of markets, they sell cooked lobster meat, which is just fine also. And like I said, you could also use shrimp. And I mixed that with a little bit of reduced lobster stock. So I took the shells and I made a stock and I reduced it down and added a little tomato paste. Obviously this is a time-consuming step. It is a really great flavor. It's a really intense flavor. So if you can take the time to do that, you'll have an incredible result. Otherwise, you could also just take tomato paste and some water, so if you want a little tomatoey flavor with it, or you could just take some melted butter, for example. So I have the lobster stock and with the tomato paste, and I'm mixing it in with the meat, and I'm going to take a little bit of chopped fresh tarragon and mix it in there too. And then you want to season with a little salt and pepper, and then you're ready to go. So once you have your filling made, now we're going to choose, we're going to fill it into the dough. Now what I'm using today are these gyoza wrappers, also pot sticker, sometimes they're called wonton wrappers. And these are it's a pre-made dough. They're quite thin, but they're very, very easy and convenient as far as making ravioli. Now you can also use pasta dough, which usually comes more in sheets, and that I'm not going to demonstrate today, but if you were going to do that, you'd lay out your dough and you kind of fill them individually using the same technique that I'm going to show you today. Okay. So first off, we're just going to put about a tablespoon or so of filling, okay, and we're going to take a little bit of egg white. We're just going to beat up a little bit so that it breaks it down, and that's going to be our glue. So we're going to brush it onto the dough. I'm going to get it right up to the edge, to the filling, so that it does not, so the whole thing seals properly. Then we're taking another wrapper, putting it on top, and just sealing it, pressing it down, okay, around the filling. Just be careful you don't get little folds in it, like that. You don't want it to fold so that the water can get in. You want to make sure that that's flat all around. Now you could stop there and you could just, that could be your ravioli ready to go. Fairly large, but still manageable. Or what I do is I usually cut it a little smaller, and then I take a glass just to seal it. You can do that either way, whether you're going to cut it or not. And I seal the pasta, the dough together, and then I cut it with a cutter so that it's a little bit smaller and also got a slightly decorative edge, and just crimp the edges like that. Okay. Now let's just make one more so you get the idea. As I said, if you have a pasta sheet, like a full sheet of pasta, you would lay that out and you'd put your filling on pieces, spread throughout the dough, and then lay the other sheet on top, and you'd do the same thing. You'd crimp it down with your glass and then cut them out. So anyway, here we are. And once again, you would use an egg white to seal it with a glue. Okay. Oops, that one broke a little. These are a little bit fragile, so don't worry if it tears. Just don't use it, obviously, because the water's going to get in there. So you have to work a little carefully with this. Use my glass to seal it. I'm not pressing down too hard here. I'm just kind of contacting the two with each other, cutting the edge, and ready to go. Okay, now this can be done ahead at this point, and then these can be put in the freezer. And you can take them out of the freezer right into the water, because you're boiling water when you're ready to cook them. Okay, so that can be done way ahead of time if you want to serve these for a dinner party and a really great, elegant appetizer or a main course. For an appetizer, I do maybe 4 or 5 pieces. For a main course, maybe 8 to 10, depending on what else you serve with it. And I'm going to show you the sauce in a minute, and then how to cook the ravioli, and we'll finish them up, ready to go. Okay, now I'm going to show you just how to cook the ravioli. First we're going to finish up the sauce. We're going to cook the ravioli, saute up a few shrimp to go with it as a garnish, and put it on the plate and serve it for our happy guests, or soon-to-be happy guests. Okay, so the sauce that I have here is a cream sauce. Now what I did is I reduced some white wine and shallots, and I'll have to check the website for the recipe. And I reduced that down so it was almost dry. I added some chicken stock, reduced that down, and added some heavy cream and reduced it a little bit, maybe about by a quarter. And now I've got that hot, kept it hot. I'm going to add in some truffle butter. Now, truffle butter there's a couple different brands. This one, I have the link on my website, on the blog, to D'Artagnan. This is something you should absolutely have in your freezer. Okay, this is like one of the best products that you can just finish a pasta sauce with, or you can spread on top of some chicken breast. It's really a great condiment to have in the freezer. It freezes well. It's not too expensive. So we're just going to whisk some of that into our cream sauce. Okay, so that's going to create the truffle sauce that I mentioned in the blog. So we're doing the lobster ravioli with a truffle sauce, right? So all we have to do is just whisk that right into the cream sauce, so it's going to melt into the sauce, and you're going to have nice chunks of black truffle. By the way, you could strain the sauce out, the shallots out if you wanted to. You just want it to be a little bit smoother, a little more rustic if you want to put the shallots. Okay. So now we've got our sauce ready to go. We're just going to keep that onto the side while we cook our ravioli. We've got the boiling salted water. I've got my ravioli. Okay. Drop them into the ravioli. And then we've got a bowl of cold water. Okay. The ravioli are cooking. I'm going to saute up a few shrimp just to use as a garnish. Okay. Got these peeled shrimp here. In this case, I'm going to use maybe 4 for an order. Okay. Just going to season them. A bit of salt, pepper. Just really quick saute for those. Okay. So that I'm doing, that could be done ahead of time, by the way. I'm just doing it while the ravioli are cooking. So I've got my sauce ready, my shrimp, I got my ravioli. Now with the ravioli, you could serve them right out of the hot water into the plate. What I usually like to do, I like to pre-cook them a little bit. And what that does is, it's something you can do that a little bit ahead of time, okay? And it sets out the ravioli so that you make sure that they're all nicely closed. Remember when we were making them, some of them, the dough was a little bit fragile. So you see here, they're all nicely closed. So I could do this, I could take them out of the water, and I could leave them like that for an hour at least, and then just when I'm ready to serve, I can put them back in the water. So now we're going to pretend that we're ready to serve. Okay, putting them back in the water. Shrimp here, they're ready to go. Okay, so these are nice and hot now. Drain them out of the water. Toss them with a little bit of the sauce. You could also put them in the pan with the sauce, but I'm not making that many right now. Okay? I've got them in the pan with the sauce. Onto the plate. One of them broke there. I got a little bit carried away. Anyway, I'm suggesting here, like, this would be a nice appetizer. Even more would be enough. Okay, and I just take my shrimp, just like that. It's ready to go. The sauce is quite rich. A little bit of top sides. got the lobster ravioli with the sauteed shrimp and the truffle sauce. Very elegant appetizer or a main course.